Whenever someone asks you information about a van, that's pretty standard, and you go to Asana to your fleet inventory and you notice that it's not there. It's not in any of these columns, right? Like earlier, you saw there was a fleet management company, right? You just add it. Add it to your personal task and say, I need to add this to the fleet inventory. Because you want to be able to rapidly access information. Say you're at the service center and they have a question about, what year is it? Or, what is the VIN number for the van? Well, you should have that right up and ready to go. And when you do other tasks like repairs for this van, driver says a side mirror is bad, right? You tag the van, okay? And when you do that, it all becomes interconnected so that when you search up here at the top for RX06, everything about RX06 is in all results. This level of tracking is unprecedented. I can see everything that we have done for this van going back to January when we fully launched Asana. That is almost 6 months now. And I can see the side step's been busted. It was part of an AFS adjustment because it looks like the vehicle was grounded. I could click on that and go, oh, what was it grounded for? It looks like the vehicle stopped shifting gears above third. The engine appeared to be smoking, observed fluid leaking out of the van. Check engine light was on for the transmission. And we've got the updates of that entire process here for when that vehicle was grounded at the service center and repaired. And then we also have the completed service center invoice in case someone ever asks for it in the future because they might need it. Hey, what happened to this van last time? Is there anything special I should know about it? Well, yeah, we have a detailed history. And not just service center or official repairs, but our own personal stuff. Like when did we change wiper blades? Oh, okay, here's our X06 wiper blade. Talk about those capital letters there, okay? And this is important stuff because it gives you a bigger picture view of the scope of fleet, how much manpower you're going to need to operate it. It's often grossly underestimated because a lot of things that a lot of DSPs don't get fixed. And it's not right, but novice in fleet management to a significant degree can lead to a degradation of the equipment and cause more cost down the road, whereby avidly paying attention to the problems with the van and getting a pattern of common things that break or issues with a specific van can allow you to plan. So what if this vehicle's check engine light comes on again? It's probably going to have something to do with that previous issue, so you know whether or not you need to ground it, stop the driver from driving it immediately, or whatever precautions you need to take, but you're more well informed. Okay. And so that's why it's important to title or tag all of your tasks that have to do with the van. What we happen to do is we happen to title all of our tasks as the van name. So RX06. If the owner of the company or one of the operations managers needs to know about RX06, all they have to do is type in RX06 in the search bar, hit show more, and go to view all results. You view all results, you see everything about that van in any of these teams. Like you can see right here, there's a van wash tracker for it, right? So let's click on that. Let's go into that task and see what that's about. And here you can see that it has a task scheduled to have the van washed. Looks like it hasn't been washed yet because it was at the service center for a long time. But as soon as it is washed, you will see that in the van wash tracker, see these green check marks here? What the team has done is when they washed the van, well, they took pictures of it and showed that we washed it. And now we have a date of the last time the van was washed. These might not seem like, significant things to keep track of, but if you notice that you're washing vans every 2 weeks because the station's grounding it, that might be grounds for, reaching out to the station management to see how you might, might be able to get some relief on that, or maybe they could get a car wash station on site. Maybe they can see data. When you make arguments to your case or when you have a problem, Amazon wants to see data to back that up. How cool is it to just pull this stuff up and say, yeah, looks like I'm washing my vans every 17 days because the station keeps grounding them for being dirty, but I deliver in a rural area in the mud. And so all 40 of my vans, as soon as I wash them, are dirty again. It takes us an hour to drive it to a car wash it, and bring it back and then detail it, another 30 minutes. So an hour and a half of labor. If I employ somebody, 5 days a week to wash my vans for 8 hours a day, they might get 6 vans done. So 6 vans a day times 5 days a week, that's 30 vans in a week. But realistically, it's going to be more like 4 or 5 a day. And they're just going to get dirty again. So all of that labor and manpower and the number of times that you've washed it with the evidence can be used to show the frequency, give that to the station for an argument of some relief. Or how can we address this together with the station? Can we get an automated car wash at the station? The drivers could just drive through. This would make the DSP experience better so that our business relationship with Amazon is enhanced, and the station does want to please us. Even though they're our customer, we're their customer. There's both internal and external customers, okay? So keep track of stuff. Keep track of the fleet inventory. Build those objects, right? And then have a maintenance team, okay? So we have a fleet team, and then we have a maintenance project. The maintenance project is kind of the crux of this whole thing. This is the magic that keeps your fleet on the road. Be realistic. Your vans are going to get grounded. They're going to have problems. They're going to have flat tires. They're going to have vehicle damage. The blind spot collision assist is going to be damaged in the right rear of the van because the driver bumped the bumper corner on an object and it damaged the sensor that's inside of the bumper corner and probably pinched the harness. All of these things are going to happen, and they're going to happen at an alarming rate because we don't have that much on-the-job training, driver training for these drivers. They only get a couple of days, a day behind the wheel, and then a ride along with a experienced driver or a driver trainer for their entire nursery route. That's barely maybe 10 hours of driving training. What do you think's going to happen to the vans with that kind of shabby training? It's probably not going to be pretty, but you could weigh the amount of cost of the van's damage in the first year and see if you need to add more on-the-job driver training. But many of them are just novice. They don't have the experience. So you're going to have a lot of vehicle damage. You're going to have a lot of problems with the vans. Flat tires are almost a daily occurrence, right? The vehicle is going to have check engine lights that come on. You have to be able to identify those codes with an OBD reader and give that information to the service center so that they can make a plan when you get it in to keep it in the service center for as little time as possible. Okay? And when you get that check engine light, don't delay. Call a service center that day and schedule that appointment because they're usually 2 to 3 weeks out in some areas. Okay? Your windshields are going to get cracked. So you have to have a process for how you're going to repair the windshields, right? So there's all of these things that a brand new DSP or brand new people to a DSP don't know how to solve, but people at the organization have already solved that problem or developed a mechanism or approached a vendor on how to solve each type of problem that they come across. The problem is that there's hundreds of problems, okay? And so let's say one of your fleet personnel decides they'd like to move on to a different career. Well, there goes all that job knowledge. That's a scary thought, right? That you had someone who knew how to solve all these problems and then poof, they're gone on to other things. It's a fact that, people jump careers in this day and age. And it's also a fact that people have, personal personal issues that may prevent them from continuing employment with your DSP. So how do you retain that experience, that job knowledge? How do you keep it within the organization so that there is continuity on problem solving and how to resolve these issues? And I can tell you right now, the answer is an application like Asana, a task management software that's customizable. Let me illustrate what I'm talking about, okay? So driver calls in and says, I have a flat tire, okay? A flat tire is a multi-day process usually. So what you can do is you can build a task template. Click the plus icon right up here at the top, and you can see right up at the top, we have a flat tire checklist. It just happens to be up at the top, but you can reorder these however you want in the task templates section. But let's just take a look at the one that I've created. So I just added a flat tire checklist. And notice how it starts building it. And you can see down here at the bottom left that the flat tire checklist was created. So the first thing you do is you rename it to the van, right? So we are going to rename this RX99 because we don't want one of my fleet personnel to go change the tire on one of our vans. And it might confuse them if I happen to forget to delete this after this video exercise is over. You can assign it to one of your people, okay? And you can assign what tire it is. So typically what we do is we say RX 99 flat tire checklist, and then you just add a little dash and you can say right rear or left front, or let's just say left or right front tire. Yeah, that's the best one. Right front tire. That tire wears out the most because the vans are always turning right, and it's on Ford Transits, the front right tire just gets pushed and grinded as it's turning. So that front right tire goes out and has uneven tread wear more than any of them. Well, let's just say it got a nail in the tire, right? So we have a flat tire checklist. Well, when I created this task template, it automatically filled all this stuff in so that the things relevant to a tire change are there. And then it has the explanation of what our process is to change that tire. In this case, to repair a flat tire properly, it's a multi-day process. It can or can't be, depending on when it's discovered. If it's discovered at night, it has to happen the next day. So it's a multi-day process. There may not be enough time tomorrow. So the tire must be swapped with the spare tire or a tire from your inventory. So we have tires in our shed. If necessary, the TPMS sensor must be programmed using the scan tool to extinguish the tire pressure light on the dashboard. The flat tire is repaired by Rainier Express Fleet after loadout or next day using the tire repair kit. The tire must be put back, the repaired tire must be put back on the vehicle. So you take one of your spare tires, put it on the vehicle so the vehicle can go out for the day. When we have time after the vehicle is returned or the following morning, we can then put the tire that was flat after we repaired it back on the vehicle and take the spare tire and put it back in the shed for future use. It's good to have about 2 tires on site. I can tell you that much right now, sometimes 3. If you really get going and there's lots of construction going on in the area that you're at, you're going to end up with a lot of nails in the tires, let me tell you. Okay. The flat tire is repaired after loadout or the next day using the tire repair kit. The repaired tire must be put back on the vehicle. This process can take 1 to 2 days, and the task cannot be closed until all checklist items are checked. Okay. If a checklist item is not required, check it off and put notes in the comments. You can see automatically these subtasks start populating. Replace the tire with the spare tire. So as the individual is doing this, they're checking it off each step until they get through the checklist and they're finished. So you can see it's a multi-step process that can take multiple days, multiple shifts, and multiple people may participate in this. So you use these task templates and you use this system to be able to track progress of maintenance. Okay, and it's hyper efficient. I don't have to tell anyone what I've done to the tire on RX99. because they can open it right up when they get on shift and they see the task is still open. Well, they can go right to it and finish up where we left off. And this continuity is our process on how we do tires. Now imagine you apply this to every section of your fleet with every problem that you experience. So as soon as you experience a problem, you add it to your task templates.